Previously on Ghost and Legends.
It appears he is still overseeing its operation in the afterlife.
I have an audio of Captain Minky saying my name.
Oh yeah, I put mine on hold. Over there.
From what I hear, Anna, you're tall enough, you could probably reach up and blow it.
Nice suggestion, she did.
Bellaire, Ohio, an old mining town along the Ohio River, seemingly innocuous, but teeming with history, both traditional and paranormal. In Belmont County, across the river from Wheeling, West Virginia, the town was named for Bellaire, Maryland, the town from which one of the founders, Jacob Davis, had come. It was a railroad town, the B&O Railroad building the beautiful stone viaduct that can still be seen today. During the Civil War, Bellaire was the site of Camp Jefferson. During the late 1800s, it was known as Glass City for the sheer number of glass-making facilities it contained. And in modern pop culture, the Bellaire Toll Bridge, spanning the Ohio River, was used in the movie Silence of the Lambs. The bridge is now closed, abandoned, and falling apart over the river. One of the most important industries of Bellaire's early days was its coal. It fueled people's homes, steamboats, glassworks, and was a major export on the railroad and river. And the one primarily responsible for that was Jacob Hetherington, he and his mule Jack. Jacob Hetherington was originally from England, born in 1814 and working the mines since the age of 7. He never went to school, but at the age of 29 he bought 8 acres of land in Bellaire on credit and began building his empire from meager beginnings. He and Jack, that is, his faithful mule that hauled the coal out of the mine. Jacob's business flourished. His 8 acres increased to 800, he owned 30 houses, shares in the glassworks, and a number of steamboats. He also had built an imposing mansion, which he called the house that Jack built, adorned with the head of a mule on the front doorway's keystone, a likeness of Jack. Jack was later buried on the property under an apple tree. One of the other houses Jake Hetherington had built, or at least to which he had deeded the land, was for his granddaughter Lade, who lived and died in the house that is now known in the paranormal community as the Bellaire House. Note, since the Hetheringtons are originally from England, I am using the UK pronunciation of the name Lade, which can also be pronounced as lied, or in other languages with various pronunciations.
There's Copperhead.
I told Michelle about those footsteps we heard while we were down here. She says, I'm a little more skeptical than you, and I said, I know you are, but there was no mistaking these.
Yeah, not at all.
No mistaking these.
Yeah. We're gonna get some footsteps.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Feel it just walking in?
I'm very rude. My name is Copperhead.
That's exactly what I was going to start with here in just a second.
And this is Mike. I know we've been up here talking everything like you guys ought to know who we are. Well, sorry about that. That's my mistake. I'm sorry for being rude. I hope we can get past my rudeness and see if we can start talking to each other.
I would just like to get to know you, discover a little bit more about you, who you are, see if there's a way we could possibly be friends. I'm Michael, and like he said, he's Copperhead. We come here in peace. Just curious about who you are, the history of this house, and the history of where you come from.
I've got a pair of sticks right here. And if you want, you can take hold of the sticks and let me know you're here by crossing them for me. That was me. Holy crap.
Well, I did that pretty quick. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you release them now? Now that I know you're here, can you let go of the rods for me, please? Let them go back straight. And we'll use these to ask questions. You can still speak. We can't hear you. It's hard for us to do that. That's why we have all these little devices. Can you please let go of the rods? Whoever that is has energy.
Yeah.
Big time. Let go all the way, please.
That was my foot.
Okay. Now, what was the guy's name?
Edwin.
Edwin? Is this you, Edwin?
Edwin, grandson of Jacob Hetherington, was a brother of Lade. Lade helped run the mining business along with her uncle Winfield Scott Hetherington for a number of years. It is noted in the Centennial History of Belmont County, published in 1903, that 3 fine residences were under construction at that time by Winfield, his brother John, and Lade. After Lade passed away in 1947, her brother Edwin resumed control of the house through probate court. Edwin had studied mediumship and so grieved his sister that as a seer he began conducting many seances within the house to try to contact her. Edwin also passed away in the house, and it is said that he had opened many portals during his 14 years living there in the home.
If this is Edwin, point the rods to the right, then bring them back to my left. Swing them side to side if this is Edwin. Point them to the right, back to the left. Make them swing side to side. If this is Edwin, that's what I want you to do. If it's not, don't do anything. Do you not want me to know your name? If you do not want me to know your name, point the rods to the left, to my left, back to my right, swing them side to side if you do not want me to know who you are.
Wavering.
Okay, let go of the rods, please.
Heard like a
Huh?
breath. Over the right hand side over here. Like a breath around here somewhere. And find out if they're the only ones up here.
Is there more than you, yourself, and us up here? If there is, cross the rods for me, please.
Trying to move in that direction, but
Are you mad that I asked your name? If you are, cross the rods.
okay.
Okay, I didn't mean to make you mad. I was just trying to figure who I was talking to. I thought since I was polite, maybe you would be polite and tell me your name. Let go of the rods, please. Let them go back straight.
We know you've probably had a lot of people up here asking you questions and throwing a bunch of different things at you, but we're just genuinely curious
Yeah,
about.
we're not trying to do a dog and pony show. We actually want to know who you are. We'll write down your name, and maybe the next time we come back we can talk again.
Yeah, the people that I work with just want their stories told, or they just want a message told, and that's what we're here to do. We can be a voice for you, since we know that sometimes it's hard for you to be heard.
After losing her home in a flash flood, Chris and Lee moved her family into the Bellaire House several years ago, although they do not live there today. After a severe haunting, which included being pushed down the stairs, her dog being thrown across her room, and an incubus attack, Kristen does not believe a family should actually live in the house, given the type of activity that happens there.
Well, we ended up living down here. Like
Right.
my office was right here at the beginning, and then it was weird here.
Yeah.
So we moved it here, and then eventually it was just me and Bella, and then eventually we left. You know,
Right.
but we all slept here. Like all of us slept downstairs, and sometimes we would take mattresses and put the mattress in the middle of the floor. And then we never felt comfortable carrying the mattress up, you know, but if company ever came over, we wanted to look like we were clean. So,
Right.
you know, we had to all like get brave and carry it up. But it was different. I mean, just being, because we had the bathroom down here. We didn't need the bathroom upstairs. And that closet is in the bathroom. It's so large that you could fit, you know, at least 2 to 3 people's clothes in there. And then in the basement at the time we had a shower, so you know, we'd had our laundry and shower and bathroom, and I hung a curtain at the top of the steps, you know, just psychologically thinking, well, they can't come down.
They can't come through the curtain.
But no, that was not right. They could come down with the curtain. But you know, I remember standing here, and I was at my last wit's end one day, and I just lost it. I was elevated in communication and just screaming, just saying, you know what, you guys stay up there, we'll stay down here, and that's how we're gonna live, you know, or else I'm leaving. So if you want me to leave, you need to, I probably shouldn't have said it like that, but you need to show me you want me to leave. And by golly, they did, you know, they really did. But it just doesn't make any sense. And I think the biggest question that I have from here is, I've tried so many times to leave and just leave it behind and just walk away and, you know, skip and sing and kumbaya and play with kittens all day long, and I always have to come back. There's always something that I have to come back, and I guess until I figure out why that is, whether it be paranormal or psychological, but I'm really leaning toward paranormal over psychological right now, I'm just being honest. I don't know why they chose me, but I do feel like this house chose me, because we signed the promissory note on the fireplace at 7 o'clock. And the next day the bank, or the realtor called, and she said the bank approved it, the mortgage, because it was a foreclosure, they approved it, and when are you ready to move in? And I'm like, we're ready to move in right now, you know, because we had a couple families living in a 2-bedroom house after the flood. So here we come, here we are. But, you know, shortly after we moved in, things would come up missing, and I guess people started to become frustrated, lots of frustration.
It seemed like it really got to everybody emotionally.
Yeah, and there's people, please don't think I'm crazy, because I really teeter-tot between am I sane or am I crazy, but I hear a conversation going on. I don't know if it's outside through the windows or if it's actually something, because when you're here, sometimes you can actually hear a couple of different people. It's almost like the negative is communicating and the positive is trying to combat. So that was outside, right?
That was outside, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, boom, see? But it almost seems like the negative and the positive are trying to communicate, but they're battling communication with each other. Like where one may want to leave, the more dominant energy, no, you can't leave. And I don't feel like there's any pleading or bartering to let me go, or not me, but who was ever stuck.
And maybe even you.
Possibly.
Because you're still here.
Yeah. Yeah, but just not full time. And if that's the way that it has to be, I will accept that for now, just for now. As like a homeowner now, anybody that has any kind of if whether you're a skeptic or not, if you believe or not, always research your home, always research the land. A lot of people don't know that, like kids that are coming in and buying new homes and stuff like that. They're so excited. They're ready to start their lives. You know what I mean? They're just like radiating love and light and all this good stuff. And then most of the time it's great. Most of the time they get a great house. Nothing. They have no problems. But there's always that few and far between that go in with that ambition and that headstrong, yes, we have a house, we're going to be stable, we're going to reach that hierarchy of self. and no, it just totally goes the opposite spectrum of that. Yeah, that's a tough one to deal with, but we're dealing with it. Are you guys feeling like weak and tired?
I'm not.
I am. I feel like I'm very tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah.
Okay.
It's weird. Did you feel like that when you guys came here?
When we first walked in the house, yeah.
And wobbly.
Yeah, that was very wobbly
Yeah.
when we first walked in the house, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of disoriented in a way. When I'd go upstairs to the attic, I got feeling almost like I couldn't stand. Vertigo is the best way to explain it, because you can't get your bearings, you can't straight, and it was like disorienting. But now I went up there and, a couple times going to that one window where the blue paint, it's just a single window. Right there, yeah, I felt kind of weird.
It's like, I can feel my body, but it feels like I'm this far outside of my body this way and up. I don't know what that means. Does that make any sense? Like I'm elevated.
No, I understand that. That's your energy. But like when you astral project,
Yes.
people talk about when they go and they visit others that they see their spirit hovering, around their body, and sometimes it's not exactly perfectly aligned with their body. It's a little off sometimes. Yeah.
Right.
So that's the way you're actually feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
never felt like that here. It's odd. It's very odd.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. But I can, it's almost like there's I just want to goon out. You know what I mean? Like when y'all just space out?
Mhm.
That's what I just feel like I just want to space out.
Okay. The stairs. You've actually been thrown down the stairs before, pushed down.
Yeah. I was coming down the hallway from the bathroom, and I stopped at what we call the Emily Davis room, because I thought I heard kids. So I went in there and I looked out the window to see if the kids were on the path, because back in that day, there was a path over here and all the kids used to ride their bikes and play, but there wasn't any kids. And Bella was here. Bella, my dog, was here.
Yeah.
She was calm. Everything was calm. And then I started to go down the steps, and Bella went down before me. She was anxious to get out, just because she's a dog, not because of any kind of energy. But I felt something push me, like right here, like push me, like right there. And there wasn't a railing there. That's why the railing is at the top of the steps now.
Oh.
And had Bella not been there, I would have gone through that window. And then a couple years later, the exact same thing happened to Goat. he was pushed. But he had people behind him, but the people behind him were a few steps behind him, so I know they didn't push him. So for a couple of months, I thought maybe it was just Goat being in a hurry. Maybe it was Goat just being excited because people were here. But then I got a hold of the little boy behind him, and I was like, what did you see? And he's like, I didn't see anything. And he's like, it was dark, of course, but I didn't see anything. So, but Goat put his hand through that window, and we still haven't replaced it. The window's waiting for us, right? But I don't know how to put a window in, and no contractor will come to the house to put the window in. So
Oh, wow.
it's still at the window place in Wheeling, West Virginia. So we have other means of keeping the rain out.
Right.
And then we had hard times finding people to go on the roof to patch it. But finally somebody came and patched the roof. And so that's an obstacle this year. Hopefully, being on paranormal lockdown will draw teams to come in so we can put a new roof on the house. So when it comes time for us to part ways and say goodbye, hopefully one day soon when I get my new place, they'll have a brand spanking new roof, and they won't have to worry about it for at least 25 years. Now, did you know that Lyde died in here?
I knew she died in the house.
Yeah,
But where was...
I'll show you, it's
Yeah.
over here. And this is where when we do public investigations and stuff, and I help out and do communication, around the table communication, we always do it in here, but she died right here.
Right in front of the fireplace?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right here. And I always talk to her, I always put the flashlights up, and she always comes through when I talk to her.
Okay.
I like Lyde, and I like Liza too.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I just feel like they're the more positive spirits. You know what I'm saying? They're just very positive, and I don't feel like they want anybody to get hurt. But that's what it that's what it feels like to me. But I think the most profound experience that I had in this house, it was over the summer from paranormal and learning about paranormal and how to operate this stuff that I'm trying to operate.
Right.
But we had the ceiling fan on, and there was one light bulb that was just on because Goat had not changed the light bulbs yet. And when we went in, it would flicker on and off, right? So as I was leaving with my husband to go to dinner, everybody was ready to investigate. I said, okay guys, I'm gonna go now, I'll see you later, and the light came on. And somebody prompted me, so talk to the light, and I'm like, okay. So I said, do you want us to stay? Turn the light on if you want us to stay, and the light turned on. I said, okay, well do you want Daniel to stay? Turn the light off if you want Daniel to stay. And it would turn on and off, on command, it would, so I talked to the ceiling light.
You talk to the ceiling.
Totally, isn't that weird to say that? How many people can say they talk to a ceiling light? Sometimes I feel like if I'm up on top of the flashlights, they won't come close to touch them. So I like to stand back and just, I normally start, hey Lyde, Lyde or Eliza, or I like to talk to them through the lights. But Jacob and Edwin come through sometimes too.
Do they?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's real hard to figure out which one it is without the Ovilus or the ghost box, because they'll say the names, and that's how we know which one we're talking to. But Lyde, if you're here, I came home for a little bit. Do you want to turn on one of the flashlights and let us know that you're here?
We'd really like to meet you. I'm Michael. This is Greg. We call him Copperhead because of his red hair. So just love to get to know you a little bit, visit a little while. Maybe even become friends. Came on.
Good, thank you.
All right, fantastic. When we began our questioning trying to speak with Lyde or Eliza, we received a response that someone may be willing to communicate with us. This included an EVP captured on Copperhead's audio recorder. Just love to get to know you a little bit, visit a little while. Maybe even become friends.
Good, thank you.
All right, fantastic. Just love to get to know you a little bit, visit a little while. Maybe even become friends.
Good, thank you.
All right, fantastic. Again, we just want to, learn a little bit more about you. If there's any sort of message that you'd like to give us. We're interested in the history of the house and who is here, why they're here. If you have any of that type of information, we have some recording devices that may be able to hear you. So if you'd like to speak to us a little bit and give us a little bit of information, go ahead and light up one of those lights again, and just go ahead and talk.
There you go.
Fantastic, thank you. We are in the Bellaire House, master bedroom. This is where a lot of the activity has happened here. This is the location where Kristen got attacked. One of the other times that I was here, we got some massive headaches here. This is the room in which Vanessa Hopel, remote viewing, was also getting headaches all the way from Oklahoma. So what we're going to be doing here right now, Copperhead has his dowsing rods. And we're going to be doing a dowsing rod session. It was pretty successful upstairs in the attic. We have the lights on because if we don't have them on, you won't be able to see anything. And there's no IR with Facebook Live. So, he's going to go ahead and start the session.
All right. Get these where you guys can see them a little bit. I always aim them down anyway. Just to see if there's anybody in here with us. I would love it if you would take hold of the sticks that I have in my hand. And if you would cross them for me to let me know that you're here, that would be awesome. If you take a hold of the sticks and cross them, let me know. Okay. Thank you. Will you let go of the rods for me, please? Let loose the rods. Alright, I don't know if anybody can see, but I'm not moving my hands. And they're pointed down, so they have to defy gravity.
Yeah, they can't see in the video that they're crossed. And something we forgot to do again.
Yes, we did.
We did.
We did.
Excuse our rudeness.
Yes, excuse our rudeness. My name is Copperhead.
And I am Michael. And it's a pleasure to meet whomever is crossing the rods right now. We're just here to discover a little bit more about who you are, a little bit more history about the house. We're just trying to document the history here. And so it would be great if you could help us out with that, and we can help you by maybe delivering a message to the world that you might have, and just be a bit of a voice for you.
Can you please release the rods for me?
Doesn't want to let go.
You're not happy. Okay. If you think that we're invading your area, your space, whatever, would you please release the rods?
It's pretty turbulent too. A lot of back and forth. And you made it tighter.
Yeah.
I feel a tingle.
So I take it we are invading your space?
We're not here trying to invade your space or or trying to be rude or what have you. We just want to learn a little bit more about you, even become friends if we can be. We're just genuinely curious about who you are.
Okay. Release the rods, please. I don't want an end of session with us in an argument. Please release the rods.
Okay.
I don't think he's gonna let go.
He's not letting go.
If you would like me to leave you alone for now, would you release the rods?
He's being defiant. Which is about par for the course for this room.
Okay, can you make a noise? Make a loud noise if you want us to leave you alone for a little bit. Mike's holding a gray box with a green light on it. If you touch that, it'll light up the different lights. Can you touch that and make it go to red? I know you're drawing enough energy.
Yeah, it is, and I am feeling tingly on my arm, but there's no response yet.
I'm gonna have to break this. If you do not release the rods, I'm going to have to put them down. Is that what you want? You want me to put the rods down? If so, let go of them.
He's just being defiant.
I can't.
Okay, all right. And we're actually in the what was the former altar room. It's set up as a bedroom right now. Kristen's had a number of experiences here, and maybe she can explain a little bit about what she experienced here.
When we first moved in, this was my first bedroom. And then the activity just became different. My son's room was across the hall, the first room, which we call the Emily Davis room. But as the activity increased, we all switched from room to room. Being a mom, I wanted to make sure that the least active room is where my younger son would be. And then eventually we all stayed downstairs. So like in the living room and used the bathroom downstairs and used the shower that was once in the basement. But in this room, on New Year's Eve we had flashlights, we had a REM pod, and we had some K2s going. And we did make connection with Edwin Hetherington, and also Liza Hetherington. During the Rick Hayes event, which was very profound, there's a heater over here, and we actually had communication come through on the heater.
The heater?
Yeah, it would turn on and off. So it was electrical. So we think that the Bellaire House definitely pulls through energy from electricity, which would make sense because we are energy. And if the spirits want to gain more energy to communicate, which they need to anyway, they would either use us as energy source or electricity. But this room was the most protective room. I did a lot of protection in this room. And if you see, you should, they can't see it, but there's a mirror behind me. Mirrors should always be faced toward the window. They should never be faced toward the wall because that creates a portal. And it looks like what someone has done here recently is put a mirror in front of a mirror, which is a
Yeah,
line
I
for
see
a
that.
portal.
There's, you guys, actually I'll hold it up. Here, hold that for a second.
And that's a no-no.
Yeah, well, you guys
do that.
can't see it, but right underneath the mantle that we have that on is a mirror. So, and that is facing the mirror that's back behind us here. Which, yeah, that will open a portal. Not a good idea.
I didn't know that this existed until I just walked in
till
this
just
room.
now, right?
Yeah, so it's hard to say how long this has been like this. I don't know, but
Okay.
we always keep the mirrors that way,
Right.
you know.
So, what kind of protection would you set up here?
Protection.
K2's going off.
K2?
K2's going off.
Mm-hmm. K2 just started.
Okay.
5 and 6.
The Mel's at right on the dresser back here. We have a millimeter set up and a K2. The millimeter right now is at 0.5, and we're getting some hits. That was a significant one. We're getting some hits on the K2.
Is somebody trying to get our attention?
Okay, we were going to do a burst EVP session, so we'll start that now.
If somebody's trying to get our attention, Can you light that box up all the way to red?
Got pretty close. When the K2 meter spiked near red, we also received a possible audio hit. At first, we thought it may have been repeating the word close, but when amplified, it sounds more like 2 syllables. Got pretty close. Got pretty close. So if you haven't been following us tonight, this is somebody else that's in the room with us tonight. Michael, this is Copperhead, and of course, you should know Kristen by now. But we just want to say hello, and
It's going up to the yellow.
Yep, I see that. It's 0.6.
It stopped from where.
Yeah, the K2 stopped now.
Let's move it back. Mill's still at 0.6, but the K2 stopped.
And that's the way it started, was the Mel was 0.5, 0.6, and no activity on the K2. Then when Kristen started talking about her story here, the K2 started going off. We've ended up moving the phone a little bit closer, which caused it to go crazy, but we were getting those hits before all of that, and now it seems to have stopped.
Are you still here?
Edwin, are you here? Or Emily? Edwin? If you're here, can you make the lights go up, please?
Or Liza. Liza, you were talking to us downstairs. We'd love to talk to you a little bit more and learn more about you. You said that you might be interested in becoming our friend. There's a question Marcellus is asking, is there a socket behind
No.
the mirror? No, there's not. It's in the corner over there, so it's away from the drawers. But that was a good question. Well, it's Sunday morning here at the Bellaire House, and we have survived the night. We've had some activity. Really, when we first came in, there was probably the height of the activity.
Yeah,
and then
that was the most noises, the footsteps upstairs, the noises coming from the basement.
The one interesting thing that we got was some input about maybe a mispronunciation of a name. We weren't able to confirm that, though, unless something came up on audio. But that's something that we'll consider, and when we come back, we'll keep putting that out there to see if that's true. All in all, I think it was a pretty good night.
Yeah, I had fun. I mean, it was a good night. Activity in the attic, activity down here in the
Dining room.
That's where we came up with Liza. Is that right?
Yeah, we were talking with Liza. We threw a couple of names out there, and
when Kristen was here.
Yeah, when Kristen was
here.
here.
And we actually got a good EVP during that.
Yeah, we were just asking, we're saying, we'd like to be friends and all that, and she said, I guess, and it was a female voice, definitely. So and Liza was the wife of Jacob Hetherington, so that's a direct connection with the property here. But we really do want to thank Kristen for the invitation to come out here and film and document the house. We'll keep doing research, we'll go over evidence, of course, and you'll be watching the result of that. So again, we thank her, and we thank you for watching. Sometimes you can't quite pinpoint the source of location's paranormal activity. The house in Bellaire is at a crossroads, both above and below the surface, with a plethora of energy trying to manifest itself. Can we say the restless spirits there are that of the Hetheringtons? Or perhaps a coal miner that met a tragic end underneath the house? Or perhaps a Native American spirit connected to one of the caves up on the hill? Or perhaps a vagabond that wandered in off the railroad? Or maybe somebody who couldn't have the house in life and decided to claim it in death? Or even maybe something that Edwin conjured up in his grief? Perhaps it's all of these and more. Keep watching Haunted Road Media for more updates about this investigation. Until next time.